Hey everyone, Chris Mack coming at you with a different layout. Let me know if you enjoy the more darkish background like this, or if you like that white hot one that I've been using for years now. Today, we are going over the Marvel Legends X-Men 60th Anniversary Blob action figure. I love this piece. If you want to grab it at the time of this recording, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is that get your action figures and toys and grab this figure. If not, at the time of this recording, as I just said, it is available on Big Bad Toy Stores. So as we see here, Marvel's The Blob. On the top, it says 60 years, which is awesome. Marvel Legends, X-Men. On the side, I love that they use the more old school looking Blob here. Very nice design. On the back, I wish there'd be a read-up for those that don't really know who Blob is. I like that they at least say that it's 8 inches tall, 21 centimeters essentially. And the accessories, that's kind of cool. So I will give it kudos to that. On the side, product shot of Blob, so you kind of get that 3D rendition of what the figure is going to look like, since this is around that time that Hasbro decided they wanted to go relatively plasticless, which I'm glad that they're finally backtracking on, because I did not like it. Don't get me wrong, I do like the background where they're using kind of the old comic styles of Blob here. That's kind of neat. On the bottom, nothing to look at. So with that said, let's get this open and see if Fred Dukes is awesome or not. Backstory: Frederick J. Dukes was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, first appearing in X-Men #3 from January 1964. Dukes began as a member of the circus sideshow under the name The Blob. His act was he could remain stationary when others tried to move him. He's detected and contacted by Charles Xavier via Cyclops, who sees his performance and tells him that he is a mutant, and asks Duke to join the X-Men. The Blob refuses Xavier's invitation, saying he is better than the X-Men. He is eventually sought out by Magneto to join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. However, Blob leaves when he finds out Magneto has no real concern for Blob's safety after he's hit by explosives which were launched at the X-Men. Duke later winds up in prison, but is freed by Mystique to recruit him into her incarnation of the Brotherhood. He becomes part of the plot to assassinate Senator Kelly, the events that would lead to the apocalyptic alternate future of Days of Future Past. He remains with the Brotherhood, becoming a special operative of the government when the Brotherhood is reformed as the government-sponsored Freedom Force. That's the basis of the Blob. There is more history, but these tales are what established the character that we all enjoy to this day. Now, as for accessories, he comes with this great screaming head, which I just think is absolutely amazing. And if you have, the one thing that I will say is I wish that he had more accessories. So, for example, X-Manny87 did a review on him, and he would put like hot dogs and pizzas in his hand just to show that more Blob-esque of the character. So I wish that we would have gotten that. But at least we get this great kind of like, I'm gonna smash you X-Men to smithereens type look. And then we get more of a resting head. So if you want to put him with the Brotherhood, that double chin is just gnarly to look at. I mean, look at the way it's just all right there on the face, and on this one, just like almost, just very creepy looking. The hair looks great. And I like how this one has more of a casual hair, as where this one looks a little more wild because he's in a fighting stance. So that's great stuff there. He comes with 2 kind of grabbing hands, so I appreciate that. So if you want to make him look like he's picking somebody up, you are good to go on that route. And then he also comes with 2 punching hands, and the skin tones match very, very well. I love the veininess of the hands, just really adds to that I'm gonna pick you up and slam you. And another thing that I like about this particular release of the Blob is this is the uniform that I remember him in from all the iterations growing up. So I'm glad that this deluxe version gives you that. And again, I'm glad too that Hasbro's kind of getting away from those early Legends where like they would give you like leg bands and they would always droop. It was so frustrating. So I'm glad that this is all essentially painted on. But yeah, it has that very kind of like wrestler sumo look about him that just adds to the just grimy grittiness that is the Blob. Now, for his articulation, him being a bigger figure, it's not too bad. I mean, it's something that you would expect from a deluxe figure or, say, a Build-A-Figure wave. So it is a dumbbell joint. You can go down about that much, that high, about that close. Oop. You see? Dumbbell joint. Yeah, I wish that you can get a little bit more, but still you get a nice range of motion. 360 on the arm joint. Again, warm this up. When I first got them out, it was almost nigh impossible to move this, so I always warm them up and then gently move the joints and then let it cool off, and then it usually just helps whatever is stopping the articulation from happening. Same with the hands. I've run into one that will eventually be going over where I was just trying to do this on one of the hands and the peg joint snapped. I had to order a new figure because I could not Dremel out the peg that was stuck in his wrist. So highly recommend always warming them up. Oh, frustrating, but regular hand articulation there. Sadly, he does not have a waist articulation here, so you can get him to go down. All right, we're going to do the rest of the articulation headless since that head just wants to continue popping off. About that much forward. So you can see it's on a rocker. So about that much that way. That way. Legs can go out that far. Kick out about that much. And then, of course, the dreaded butt flap, so you can't go all the way. Single jointed, which I wish they would figure out a way to do double jointed on the bigger figures, especially a butterfly joint. That would have helped immensely on this figure, but I'll let it go since it's such a nice piece in my opinion. Has the upper thigh cut. Foot goes down. I have to warm his feet up again. Foot goes down. Foot goes up. And it goes spinny, spinny. So for a larger figure, it's not too bad. Yeah, there we go. We'll get that face on there for y'all. I wish that, again, that we can get the double joint in this, but it's still, that 90 degrees there, not bad. I can't complain too much. What do you guys think? Do you like the older versions, or are you enjoying this deluxe version? Now here's Blob against the iteration of the Brotherhood that Mystique started. This is the Rogue Pyro 2 pack that came out a couple years back, the retro carded version of Avalanche, and then the, Walgreens exclusive Mystique. Now, you're wondering why Rogue? Initially, when Destiny and Mystique took Rogue in, they kind of groomed her, and there for a while she was part of the Brotherhood until she went to the X-Men. So the Destiny, I finally broke down and got the Destiny Rogue 2-pack, which is like, I need another Rogue. But I want that Destiny to finish off this version, so I'll also have the evil-looking Rogue that stole the powers from Carol Danvers, so this is just sort of a placeholder for y'all to know. In this iteration, this was also the team that became, minus Rogue, that became Freedom Force, Toad, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Mastermind. They were not part of this Brotherhood. That was Magneto's. Blob was part of that momentarily till he realized that Magneto did not care about his well-being being. So he left, and then Mystique kind of made the offer, broke him out of jail. And that's how this version of Claremont's Brotherhood came to be that we all know and love. So all these figures, guys, I highly recommend you pick them up. This version of Rogue is really beautiful. I believe this style was from the Uncanny Avengers, which was a great run by Rick Remender. That dude. And then, of course, all the great ones, and we'll go over that one, these two, and her eventually. But if you are an X-Men fan, like myself, who grew up reading, Jim Lee, Claremont, Scott Liddell, Fabian Nicieza, Rob Liefeld, these are characters that you want in your collection. Are you an X-Men fan? Are you an Avengers fan? Are you street-level hero fan like Daredevil, Punisher? Let us know with these figures. Are you going to pose them on a shelf? Are you going to do action figure photography? Take some pictures and let us know. We'd love to see pictures over on our socials. I absolutely had a blast posing this figure. He is beefy enough that he stands relatively well, and he just looks absolutely both repugnant and awesome. I love the way it's sculpted. Love the way he bends. There's not a whole lot that I can say that I don't dislike about this figure, though I do wish that there were some more accessories. For example, as I was talking about, I've seen X-Manny have like food in his hand and all that stuff to just kind of make him more blobbish, which would have been kind of a cool addition. But at least we get the extra heads and hands, so I can't complain too much. So if y'all are wanting a Blob to finish your Brotherhood collection, this is definitely the one that I would suggest. Though I would say at the price point, see if you can find them on sale, and hopefully it won't be too much, because at Big Bad Toy Store I saw it for like $70 or something like that, and that's a bit much. Hopefully you guys can find it cheaper. If you have enjoyed what you've seen of this figure, with all that said, please, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is that get your action figures and comics. If not, then you can check out Big Bad Toy Store or wherever else you can find it for a better price. And if you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little Brotherhood bell next subscribe, that way as I get typical content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or the socials, which I'll make sure the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading. Photo slideshow coming up next, and happy hunting, everyone.